I start. Then let's go. Let me share my screen so you can see the presentation. Okay, then I share. Okay, then you see my print. Okay, you can see the presentation for AirPods by Apple. Sorry. Are you able to see my screen? Yes. And the presentation? Yes. Okay. Just let me, if you don't hear it, just let me know, please. Okay, let's go then.
I'm sorry, but there is no sound on the video.
Sorry, you cannot hear anything?
No.
How can we do that? Let me get this one. Just let's do an experiment. Can you hear now? Can you hear now?
No.
No.
Let me. Okay, let me. How can I do that? Let me guess. Is your but if I get in my microphone the sound of this presentation, you should get it. This is why I'm not sure. Let me guess like this. Let me make an experiment. Can you hear now? Did you hear anything?
No.
No, we can't.
Okay, let me try another one.
And then we try to trim it. However, AirPods are already as small as possible.
Can you hear now?
To come up with a cheaper alternative for the AirPods by trimming the system. We choose to remove microphones, so calling and Siri function doesn't work anymore, and to remove sensors, so the double tap function and the automatic play pause function doesn't work anymore. By doing that, the headphones still work, and it doesn't change anything to the wireless version of listening to music. The trimming of this system will cause another cheaper version of the already existing AirPods. The price of the AirPods is currently pretty high. Therefore, this system can be a good alternative for people who do not want to spend this amount of money on good headphones, but still want to have a good music quality. Then we did two parameters table, one only between internal and parameters, and the other is one between internal and external parameters. It enables us to see what happens if we modify a parameter and what the consequences on the other parameters are. For example, if you have a look at this table, we can see that currently the efficiency of the water-resistant system is the same for every AirPod. However, we thought AirPods could be more or less water-resistant in function of the weather during utilization. So, in a rainy place, AirPods water resistance should be more efficient than in a place where it doesn't rain a lot. This modification influences on other internal parameters, such as the price, for example. That's why both tables are important.
Concerning the technological appropriability, we used VantagePoint as a tool to analyze the patents of the wireless earphones and all the companies that are involved. As you can see, there's the summary sheet. We have over 8,500 patent families and pretty good data, as it seems, very reliable. Only the normalized assignees are a little bit lacking of reliability, which is only 9% covered. To get started in the analysis, we decided to see why the current assignees are much higher than the normalized ones. And as you can see in those two different tables, that the current assignees are basically Chinese companies. This may be because of the involvement of the Asian companies in wireless headphones, which have been around for a very, very long time. It's not a new technology, so it's no surprise that there are smaller companies that have filed for patents also. But as you can see, if you use the normalized assignees, there is some overlapping, as Samsung and LG are in both of the tables. So we decided to not use the current assignees, but the normalized assignees due to language difficulties. In the next step of the analysis, we decided to use the top normalized assignees, which means the ones that have more than 5 records, and combine them in a matrix with the different keywords from the abstract, and there we decided to use the ones that have more than 50 records, and of course only the ones that are relevant to us and our invention or innovation, the earbuds. And there you can see it's 14 different ones, and it can be seen that there are lots of companies that are not really working on wireless earphones, but only on earphones in general and wireless connections, which can be related to different reasons, but we are going to focus on the wireless earphones, of course. The next step was to evaluate which are the most relevant competitors to Apple and the AirPods. So we decided to use the cross-correlation map of the abstract and the current assignees as used in the matrix before. And here highlighted in red, you can see that Apple has basically 6 main competitors which are involved in nearly the same fields concerning the filed patents. Looking at the top 7 companies that are involved in wireless headphones and or sorting them by the years they have filed for the patents, it can be seen that they have been active in basically 2 different periods of time, in around 2004 to 2008, and then from 2013 until basically 2017 or also today. And looking at the top companies only, you can see that there's Foxconn, which is only a manufacturer. Of course, there's the keywords that are related to the AirPods because they are manufacturing them, but their patents are only processes of manufacturing. So we decided not to use that and focus on Samsung, LG, and Apple, of course. To give a short overview of the results of our analysis, we decided to not only include the patents that were filed and of course the years they were filed in, but also the releases of different products. And as you can see, maybe as a trend also, the companies all decided to produce something similar to the AirPods, and there cannot really be a trend besides that figured out, only that the companies try to include a lot of health data. Like you can see at the very top, there's LG patenting the blood pressure detection by wireless earphones, but those patents mostly occur in the ones for smartwatches. Only very few are in wireless earphones. So the industry has been basically very, very long around, and the overall trend is, of course, to increase the quality of the music that's transmitted and in the size of the products, which is going to be smaller and smaller, and of course is a very, very current topic to increase the battery quality and the durability of the batteries.
A company like Apple has many facilities and a huge network with a lot of alliances. As resources, they use materials and energies for the production and distribution of AirPods. The AirPods are composed of many materials coming from all over the world. There is, for example, a metal named manganese, which comes from South Africa. There is cobalt, which comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo. There is neodymium. Neodymium is used in magnets in headphones and is mainly found in North Korea. There is copper and lithium mining, which are located in the USA and in Mexico, and so on. So you can imagine that to extract, transport, and manufacture those materials, a huge amount of energy is required. The most energy-intensive step in the life cycle of AirPods are manufacturing and processing. However, in order to fight climate change and create a healthier environment, Apple feeds all its sites with renewable energy. Moreover, currently 44 suppliers of the production line participate to the Supplier Clean Energy Program, which means they have committed to power their entire production for Apple with clean energy. To succeed, they can choose between on-site or off-site renewable projects. On-site projects are mainly the utilization of solar energy, while off-site projects are more various. It could be power purchases coming from solar, wind, biomass, or biogas energy. It could also be for participation to China Clean Energy Fund or direct investments. Who are the suppliers? The most famous one is Foxconn, a group specialized in the manufacture of electronics products. You've probably already heard about it because it's often singled out for its working conditions. Its principal rival is Pegatron, another huge Taiwanese company. And then AirPods are assembled by the company Inventec, which was the only subcontractor of Apple until it was not able to respond to all Apple's comments. Since then, a competitive company also worked for Apple. This company is Luxshare ICT. In total, Apple has more than 200 suppliers all over the world. Transport are therefore essential, as in 2019 it's estimated that 60 million AirPods have been sold. Apple must therefore adjust constantly its product shipments based on real-time product demand. They are estimating upfront how many products will be sold. The meaning of transport then depends. During the product's launch, planes are used because the new products are sent out as quickly as possible to be fully available for the official release. Otherwise, products travel by cargo ship because it's much cheaper, even if it's longer. For example, an iPhone's kilogram costs approximately 30 cents from China to Europe by cargo ship. So to sum up, Apple's complementary resources are diverse and numerous, as the company operates all over the world from the extraction until the sale.
Then the dominant design. At the moment, there are 3 different models of the AirPods. The first model came out in 2016. That will be the AirPods 1. Then the second generation was released in 2019. This will be the AirPods 2. And later that year, the AirPods Pro were released. But Apple was not the first one to come up with the wireless headphones. Some other companies were ahead of them. But when they did, Apple quickly dominated this market. The reason that Apple came late with the wireless headphones may be that Steve Jobs was not a fan of Bluetooth back in 2005. He told the press that there were quality issues. For example, the bandwidth was not high enough yet. But another issue for him was that he thought that even when the quality would be good enough, people would not want to charge their headphones. The quality in 2011 had improved a lot, so this was not a problem anymore. However, the problem of recharging the headphones was still there. But the thing is that no one cares about that anymore. Since so much stuff had to be charged every day, it has become normal. Moreover, the battery life of the AirPods, including the case, is very long, so they don't have to be charged too often. The AirPods had a big influence in the wireless headphone market. They increased sales of wireless headphones by over 20%. From the total sales, they account for almost 85%, which is almost the whole market. It is expected that in 2020, their market share will rise even more than it already did in 2019. However, in 2021, the growth of the AirPods market share can be expected to decelerate a little bit, since a lot of people then already have bought their AirPods. Apple is well known for their marketing. With every new product they bring into the market, they have a very big presentation to share their thoughts and ideas about that certain product. There's also tons of advertisement pictures or videos about the AirPods. For the AirPods Pro, Apple used crazy big ads outdoors, such as on buildings or next to a highway. This will most likely attract the attention of a lot of people that are just walking around. It's almost not possible to not notice them. Some examples of these ads are shown in this slide. Another fact of Apple is that all their devices are easily connected and linked together via the software that they use. That they work this way is very smart, because there's a big chance that when someone starts with an Apple device, they will get another Apple device, since the devices are so easily connected together, and there are a lot of benefits of having all Apple devices. So for the people that own an iPhone, it's more likely to buy AirPods than some other sort of headphones that are wireless, since they are especially made for the iPhone. Then lastly, the impact on the society of the AirPods. The AirPods were designed to listen to music or to take a phone call without the inconvenience of entangled wires. However, the generation we live in, they use the AirPods in a different way as well. The AirPods have become an icon to show that you're able to afford the product and can therefore show that you're wealthy. The influence from the AirPods is so big that there are even companies who create fake ones that look exactly like the originals, but most of the time they do not even work. This is an example that people will spend money on fake stuff just to create the illusion that they have money to afford it.
Okay, I think we have listened to this. Is there any question you would like to transfer? I will write. I have my own questions. I would like to see what is, well, there's some data about the dominance of Apple, but also what is the again in time. I see that for appropriability there's some trends in time that's very interesting, but also would like to see what is the market trend in selling this. I guess some figures should be on the internet about it. Okay. Okay, let's move. I'll stop sharing my element, and then is the next group can try to present, please. Is there any other group who would like to present? Hello? 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 Is there any other group who would like to present now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, okay. Thank you. So, is there any group that would like to make a presentation? I cannot hear you. I will leave and enter again. Okay, don't just try to as an IT solution. Just going out.
We can hear you. I think there's just no other group who wants to present today.
Okay, no more groups will present today. Then, okay, okay. Well, I guess all the groups will present next Monday, or will make what else? As I said, there's a possibility of presenting next Monday. I said it's okay. So, well, in this case, we will finish here, okay? We'll finish here today. And for those groups who I have a confirmation of 2 groups that will present, I will record them so you can see the presentations of all of you, okay? So, thank you very much. This is the finishing of this subject. I hope you learned what innovation is. You learned also how to change things systematically, change how things are moving or things should work, okay, and how to discover new opportunities. And finally, to see the landscape of everything, because you should analyze how things are moving, how things are evolving, and therefore get what is the possibility, and what are the trends, and what is the next things that could come. Well, this is. I have, as I heard some doubt about sensors yesterday, I have uploaded for you just a description of how moving sensors have their own functions, and how can we depict functionality for a moving sensor. The difference between quiet, a non-moving sensor is a sensor that is in a ceiling or in a property, and to detect the presence of people, or the sensors that are just to receive a signal. They are They are not the donor of the function, they are the receiver of the function. But for a sensor moving like a robot, you need to detect obstacles, and then you need to send a signal. And therefore, your sensor is the donor, and the signal is the receiver. It produces a signal. This signal is reflected by the obstacle, and then the signal then again informs the sensor. So we have an emitter and a sensor. So maybe we can split this. I didn't split, I put sensor. We could split into emitter and sensor. This is what is the functionality about. Okay, as I said, if you have any doubt now or in the future, you know my email. You can email me at any time, and I will try to answer any of your doubts. I hope you can apply some of these concepts into your future work, and hope you are successful. Thank you very much. And if there is any question, I'm open. The marks for the subject will be after next Tuesday. I will receive all the reports. Then I will start to assess them, and I hope the next week there will be the marks. Before I publish I will upload the marks at Polyformat, so you can check. And if you have any doubt, you have time we have time to discuss before I get the official marks. Okay, so thank you very much for this year. You have been very interesting students and have set the standards high. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.